I think it is time for NXT to take over.
Suplex City, bitch.
What's your favorite match?
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
Who?
I told my father I'm gonna set up my own lucha league in America, and I'm gonna make it the best league in the world.
I'm gonna leave him in a pile of blood and urine and vomit.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Let's Talk Wrestling podcast. The wrestling podcast to review every segment of Raw and give you guys the wrestling news of the week, which involve two legends really disliking one another. Well, maybe not so much, as we obviously get into that as we go along. My name is Turbo Tony. I don't dislike any other podcaster, so maybe that's a plus for our show. I didn't.
No hate, no rivals.
No one's blaming me for their show being taken off or anything like that. So I think that's a good thing. We've already started on a good front, guys. Okay? And I am with the man who graces the show with his presence, with his vocal elegance. Oh wow, I like that actually. I don't think I'll have to use that on a weekly basis actually. Your vocal elegance. And he is the only man on the planet who couldn't give a rat's ass about Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes. It's Matt Marsander.
Who against who?
Exactly. Yeah.
Isn't that the guy who's been like whenever I'm trying to watch a YouTube video recently, like, I'm culling McGregor and I'm gonna fight someone.
I don't know. Maybe. He's
him?
Irish and he wants to fight someone, so I guess...
That's just the Irish. I don't want to, stereotype, but it's kind of like just the Irish.
I'm not going to say a damn word, because that could land me in a whole lot of trouble.
Your wife will hear you and as a result challenge you to a fight.
Yeah, exactly. Right here on the podcast. And I don't know about other people, but I don't want to hear me get my ass kicked on this show. It's not that fun, alright? Are you okay, Matt, or are you going to die?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
There's just that little tickly cough, like right at the back. It's nothing, but it's just like, hello.
Which, in all fairness, is probably going to be torture over a 2-hour podcast that we're about to embark upon.
The worst part is literally like, so then you're like, are you ready to record? Yes! Shit.
Yeah. How you been anyway, Matt, this week, apart from having the tickly
Yeah, I've not been too bad. It's been a tough week, because I haven't watched anything.
Yeah, you haven't had a lot of time.
Brutally honest. As much as I'm like, the worst part is, do you know what I've watched all the way? I've watched this week's Tough Enough. I haven't watched anything else. And I feel really bad for that.
Considering our rant last week was, quite...
Yeah, but you were like, you can watch it on YouTube now. Oh, can I? Good, I'll just watch it on my lunch break at work.
So basically, because it was the easiest accessible, that's the reason why you watched it. Which isn't a great mark on Tough Enough. We will be talking about Tough Enough again this week, guys, just in a little bit, just to kind of update what's going on. What do we have on the show for you guys this week? We have a bunch of news. We've already alluded to probably what is the biggest news story this week in the introduction to the show. We also have our NXT report card. We have fan feedback, of which there are no questions on my side, but Matt is bringing them to the table. Oh, I see. Someone's giving you ammunition. I'd like to know who it is. Okay. And, of course, we've got our Raw review, which does include Brock Lesnar violently making love to a car and, well...
With an axe.
With an axe, yeah. And possibly one of the greatest matches in recent Raw history. So, wow, a lot to talk about in regards to that show. Matt, by the way, as one of our fans already know, as I asked you a question via it, what is the way to contact us via Twitter?
To get through to us on the Twitter?
Yes.
It would be through @TalkWrestlePod.
@TalkWrestlePod, you say? Man, I really got to start remembering this. Every week I have to keep asking you. I'm really bad for it, to be honest. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
At least I'm running it and I know what I'm talking about.
You know what you're doing. That's it. It would be a pretty bad Twitter handle if you didn't know the own Twitter handle.
What is it?
I don't know. So yeah, feel free to tweet us on there and give us any of your news. And obviously follow us there to get Matt's thoughts throughout the week when he does have time to watch wrestling. And obviously he gives his thoughts on the news and everything that goes on from there. So, without further ado, Matt, without further procrastination, as I like to say each week. And by the way, just before we do start, I say without any further procrastination, and then I procrastinate.
But before I get on with that,
yeah, you guys have noticed the audio issues in the last couple of weeks. That has hopefully, I think, touch wood, it has been amended going forward. So hopefully, as I said, fingers crossed, there won't be any further issues last week. And last week wasn't really an audio problem; it was more of an internet connection issue, which got solved halfway. Well, I say halfway, half an hour into the show, so the majority of it was still fine. So yeah, hopefully that will all be good there. And it's actually I'm feeling good because we've had like a month of like audio problems, and now I'm just feeling like fuck. Now I can just talk about wrestling without even caring. I don't even care if there is audio problems. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna have fun with this episode and just run with it. So that's the way I'm going for it. News, Matt. Now, some interesting tidbits of news. The first one that came out was in regards to what could be called maybe a leaked document, could be stated. Yep. And basically what it is that it's an instruction given to the commentators on WWE shows, right? So these are basically a list of instructions that they've given to these commentators. Now, I don't have a problem with commentators being given instructions. Some of the instructions, however, on this one are quite laughable. And it's more laughable, like, to be honest, the instructions themselves, if you read them, they're actually pretty good, Matt. Don't you think? Some of these instructions, I mean, you saw it.
I saw it, but you know what the worst part is?
Go on.
I think the kayfabe news one kind of pushed the actual thing out of my head.
Okay, so now you're thinking of
No, I'm just thinking, you must watch Total Divas. It is the best show ever.
Yeah.
Cena deserves every title ever.
Yes, instantly. Yeah, exactly. Well, which is pretty much Michael Cole's notes, but we won't go there.
Yeah.
So the reason why it is funny is because I'm going to go through the list of them here, and you can tell me.
Oh, okay. I was about to hunt for them, but okay.
No, I came prepared. I'm going to go through the list of them here, and you guys can tell me, right? Well, I'm going to tell you as well. But you can tell me how ludicrous some of these sound, considering what we know the commentary to be. Okay? The first one. Take the high road and don't be crude, especially with the divas. I guess this one should pretty much have a big circle around it saying, King, look at this fucking one right here. No more puppies.
Booker.
Yeah, Booker. Jesus
no
Christ.
Shucky Ducky Quack Quack.
Booker T.
You know I mean.
These girls, all they do, once they get close proximity, they just can't help but fight each other. That's all women are. Oh, yeah, because
girls just don't like each other.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't be crude. Yeah, definitely. Second one, if you're watching a taped show, watch it ahead of time and prepare. Okay, that's one I'll give them. At very least, that sometimes they do know a little bit of history and stuff like that.
Taped show?
Sometimes they get it wrong. But
when do they commentate over a taped show?
Sometimes they will. You know, sometimes they will do, if they're basically, if what I'm saying is that, like, if they're doing, like, sometimes they do, it doesn't matter as much anymore. But anyway, moving on. Make your own notes on the superstars and keep it up to date. Okay, it seems like homework for the commentators. Okay, That one don't have too much of a problem with. You know,
it's like product knowledge.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a 3-hour show on Raw, and SmackDown. You have to watch it, even though King didn't watch it for pretty much 5 years before he started commentating there. But you do have to watch the shows and obviously keep an eye on it. Fair enough. Sit up straight on all cameras, dress professionally, and talk to your partner and glance at the camera more often than not, depending on the moment. So, and obviously now you're thinking of the moments where they're trying to plug, let's say, the WWE Network, right? And then it looks like Michael Cole's making romantic eyes with the camera as he's back and forth.
Yeah, when you got like Michael Cole going, "What do you think, JBL?" And he's like, "Well, Michael, but you're right over here, but I'm looking over there." But Michael, I think.
Well, talk to me when you're fucking looking at me. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
What do they dress professionally? Oh, I see Jerry the King's in a t-shirt again.
Yeah, he kind of gets away with a lot of these, to be honest. But hey, maybe that's part of the reason maybe they wanted to boot him off the SmackDown, so they don't have to deal with that too much, but still.
Yeah, we need you in a suit. No. Oh, okay.
Here's the golden one. Are you ready, Matt? Are you ready? The use of topical info as analogies and examples is effective, if not forced, i.e. JBL.
He's very good at that, isn't he?
well, good at making them, bad at executing them, I would say, as we've said a lot of the time. As soon as this one came up, I was like, JBL.
Barrett or Neville are in the ring. Let's talk about football.
Yeah, let's talk about Britain in the sports. And
Britain! Like, they're probably going to go mentioning, like, you know, next week we're going to have Barrett on the screen, and then you're going to have JBL going, oh, Prince George told the cameraman to go fuck himself.
Because he's a good heel. Yeah, that's the way it's going to go. At
God
the end of the day,
bless you, Prince Philip. God bless you for saying that cameramen need to hurry the fuck up.
But yeah, he's 94. He can get away with it, can't he?
It's the fact that he did it. I was like, you are a royal and you are amazing. But, you know, we're probably going to hear something about it next week.
Yeah.
Thank you, JBL.
Yeah. Literally anything can happen. It could be the slightest of sports or pop culture references. JBL will reference you on the show. And guess what? It will feel forced. So, yeah, that one's got JBL.
So, do you remember when he was, like, trying to force the Game of Thrones references?
Yeah, but he used to do it every single week.
It's
on a weekly basis.
Like Game of Thrones. Oh, a TV show rated R, PG. Half of your crowd don't watch Game of Thrones.
He's like, he's
like a regular Tywin Lannister. How would they know that?
Yeah. It's like, you know, all these 5-year-olds that love John Cena. Oh, what's Game of Thrones, Daddy? What's that? It's like, yeah, that's pretty much what we're having here. So, yeah, that I find that quite funny, just that one with JBL. Let's look forward to the other ones. Fully understand the history and heritage of the business, as it gives what we are doing today more credibility. Now, it does, but it also reminds us of when things were better. So,
yeah,
you know, they have to be a little bit careful with that one, shall we say. And this one, I like this one. Have fun, because you are a fan. If you don't like this, why should anybody else? So,
I get it.
I
completely understand it.
All I can think of, however, is the times we've had JBL like freaking out about, oh, this person's garbage, I don't want to see him, or you know, I mean, to be honest, the main thing that's the issue with this is that you got the commentators saying how great the show is when the show is obviously at like a, you know, a bad part of the show and stuff like that. The amount of times they've done that. So
yeah, and JBL sort of starts breaking down.
Yeah, it's like
hate them.
Yeah, and suddenly he's just reaching for like you know, some news article that you can just link to something that he can say, or looking at all the sports references. Just
flicking through Twitter, just like something. That happened. Nobody cares, but it did.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, commentary. The reason I bring this up, and the reason why it's a particular subject to bring up here on the show, is because you have to look at it objectively. Commentary, and we've said this before, is the worst it's ever been. On the main show, it's the worst it's ever been for a very, very long time. I mean, we're talking the better bones of 30, 40 years, right? Yeah. So, and you got to think maybe...
Bring back Vince.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think Vince should take the commentary booth immediately. But obviously he won't, but I think he should. Because Vince would not follow these rules.
Yeah.
Do you not think he would not follow those rules?
I can only imagine. Like, rules? Fuck it, they're my rules. I break them.
I own the damn show. And suddenly he just starts talking about whatever he wants to.
Yeah. Who wrote them? I wrote them. Do I abide by them? No.
And all the fans are totally into Cesaro, and you've got Vince McMahon going, I don't know why he's not connecting with these crowd, like, you know, commentaries. Like, can you not fucking see it? He couldn't be any closer, dude. Yeah, it's...
The crowd seem to be cheering for him. I don't know why.
Yeah, I would love that. I really would. But, yeah, like I said, bringing this back anyways, that like the commentary has been awful for a while. And I think part of it is because they are scared of, you know, making a wrong reference. You know, Booker T did it very recently with referencing Owen Hart, if you remember that. They're scared of making a mistake rather than scared of making good commentary. You know, or like, you know, wanting to make good commentary. That's pretty much where they're going with it there. So I just thought it was interesting. You guys should look at it, but it's quite telling sometimes. So, you know, stuff on there. Let's talk about Tough Enough now, Matt.
Yeah.
Now, I watched the show, so did you. We're not going to go into much of the stuff about happened on the show because I think we've already convinced people it's not worth watching.
But I'm a real-life American hero.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Matt, you're more of an American hero, but...
I'm more of an American hero than ZZ.
Yeah, that's
Man, ZZ's ZZ isn't an American hero. He's a national treasure.
National treasure. Okay, I can see why people like him. I'm not one of those people. But I'm not one of those people like, oh my god, I don't see how anyone can. No, I can see why people like it. I'm not. I like him. I like him as a person. But when he does that sort of stuff, I mean, guy, you can see he's nuts, right? Let's be telling it here. His balls and nuts were pretty much just there. Never seen a bulge like that before, except with myself, of course. Ladies, well, I have a wife. I don't need to do that shit. So, now I did make a reference last week stating that the ratings more than likely would drop. They actually didn't. They bounced back to what they were for the premiere, right? Close to that. My only reason why I'm thinking that is possibly the case is I just genuinely thought this show was at least a little bit better than the one before. I thought this week's show wasn't nearly as insulting as last week, but that's the way I perceived it.
I mean, hell, if you want insults, just talk to Paige on the judges team.
Fucking hell, man. She is extremely unlikable. She makes it extremely hard for me to like her on that show, considering she's a face on the main show, right?
Yeah.
Now, as far as I've heard, USA aren't happy with the way Raw and Tough Enough, in particular, is getting along. But let's face it, WWE still is a big ratings draw. They still... there still is worth having them there. I'm not by all means.
It's like, I'm not happy. Am I still making you millions of dollars? Yeah? Then shut up.
Yeah. Like, WWE still have a little bit of leeway to throw their way. I'm in no way saying that USA are looking at backing out on WWE, because even if that was the case...
WWE are in trouble.
No. Even if USA were to pull out, another network would gobble them up, because they are a high commodity. Let's be honest. We've said a lot of stuff negative about WWE, about their on-screen product, but as a business... like, people will want to work with them, right? Let's just be honest, right? So yeah, that's the Tough Enough news. For all intents and purposes, Daria was eliminated this week. Sarah Lee and ZZ were kept on the show, and I'm sure that will freak Paige out, because she just seems to really fucking hate Sarah Lee. But well, she seems to hate everyone on that.
Would you have saved Sarah Lee?
No, I would have booted her myself, actually. To be honest, I thought she was shocking. But
I'd have kept Daria.
I would have kept Daria, definitely. Let's talk about Tyrus. Who is Tyrus, Matt may ask me. Well,
I know who Tyrus is.
Okay, I'm just insulting your wrestling knowledge there. I apologise. Brodus Clay.
I was going to say, I know he's a big fat guy with loads of stupid tattoos who thought he was a dinosaur at one point.
Whoa! Okay.
Maybe that's why he's Tyrus. It's like Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Well, I'm going to videotape that particular statement, and I'm going to make it my life's journey to play that in front of Brodus Clay for you. See how it does. No, I like...
Shoo, whoop!
Considering he was a former bodyguard to Snoop Dogg, I wouldn't want to say too much about the man, but here we go. Here's why we're talking about him this week. Now, we all know Jeff Jarrett is working with TNA now. Now, that was a shocker back then, because as far as we know, and I kind of still think to this time, Jarrett and Dixie Carter probably want to DDT each other rather than do business with each other. But it's a fact now they,
But the only time I'll shake my hand is to your back, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm shaking the dagger, making it the wound bigger, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now, why does Tyrus go into this? Right. So, Tyrus, he came out in an interview and spoke recently, explaining why it was actually like a segment where they showed like the backstage of all everyone reacting to Jeff Jarrett being in TNA, and Tyrus was there, and he was the one person who looked as if he wanted to kill someone, right? And now it's obviously come out. He's obviously explained the reason why that is the case. Now, TNA don't run house shows anymore. That's quite well known, right? They can't do it. They don't pull enough.
That's it.
They don't draw enough people for house shows. So these people, these wrestlers, these talents,
TV or nothing, yeah.
Yeah, basically, they have to work house shows, right, to make money. They can't just go with the TNA TV tapings. That won't earn enough.
Hence why you'll always see, like, with TNA Superstar, like, there's a show coming up soon in the UK, and it's just like, there's so many guys on it.
Yeah, and some of them are still...
Like, EC3's on it.
Yeah.
For a start.
I mean, I saw footage quickly after TNA started dropping house shows of EC3 popping up in a fucking gym doing a very small show sort of thing. So it's, it's that sort of bad. But So the thing is, right, Tyrus had a deal, right?
Actually, I remember a former friend. I can't remember. I don't know. Was it Doug Williams? I don't know. Someone like the TNA X Division star at the time was at a show in Milton Keynes, and a former friend of ours got in trouble because she decided to tweet a picture of her holding the X Division belt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What a fool.
Yeah. Now, basically, what I'm getting at is that their talent now have to go work house shows elsewhere. And TNA's rule is, as long as it's not taped and it's not going to be on TV, work as many house shows as you like.
That's
right?
it.
As long as you don't show up.
As long as you're not on TV and it's not going to conflict with any of our stuff.
Exactly, right? Which is fine. I haven't got a problem with that. However, what happened with Tyrus was that he spoke to Jeff Jarrett and actually got himself on a GFW show. This is before the whole stuff with Jarrett getting involved in TNA, remember? Yeah. So he was going to work this show, and TNA told him, you work that show, you no longer work for TNA. They basically said to him, look, we will fire you if you go and do that house show with GFW.
Yeah. No. We can work with Jarrett. You can't.
Yeah. That's exactly what they're saying to him. Because, basically,
that's ridiculous.
He had been told, oh, no, you can't work with them. That's one company you cannot work for. 2 weeks later, or however long it was, oh, look at Jeff Jarrett. He's back on our show.
Look who's here! Jeff! Like, they've just, The
TNA guys have got some fucking balls, I tell you that much, to deny a man of that size his money. I tell you what, they took money out of his account. Jesus Christ. He has every right to feel ripped off to the highest degree. And if I were him, if I didn't need the paycheck that bad, I would have told him, okay, this is what he would have given me. You give that to me now. You took that off of me, and now you've done this.
He was offering me this much, but, because of some BS ruling that you're coming up with, I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, maybe he hasn't done that because...
Pay me, bitches!
Maybe he realises that even if you were to hold them for ransom, which he can't do, really, because they the way it's done. I know it's not great, but still...
I mean, they need to have money to pay out.
Exactly. That's exactly where I'm going with this. They don't have the money to pay the guy extra, so let's just be honest. So yeah, that's really crappy. And anyone that says to me, oh, TNA, no, I don't want TNA to go away, but the way they do business, man, it's just like the people involved there, they either need to go or TNA needs to go with them. They obviously have shown a multitude of times that they just can't take themselves away from their pettiness. Yeah. And it comes out in stuff like this, and this is just the ultimate slap in the face. And man, I cannot wait for a spoken word podcast with him on it, and I want him to talk about it. I want to hear the man's rage about the money he lost. That's what I want, but still.
Yep, I'd be good with that.
Yep. Oh man, that would be enjoyable. Very enjoyable. In further news, Matt, the word backbreaker is banned from WWE.
I don't know what they're going to use, though. Because I messaged you about this, but I'm like, it's all well and good, but then it's like, oh, and then he hits him with the tilt-a-whirl.
Knee slam, yeah.
Yeah. Impact drop thing.
Yeah. I thought this is a bit
the
silly.
Irish curse. Shoulder slammer.
Yeah. It's a little bit funny, actually. It's now they haven't actually used the move in a while. No, I mean the name in a while. I mean, I think actually the Irish Curse Backbreaker is probably the only time they would ever use.
Actually, you say that, and then I watched the Cena Cesaro match, and they're like, "Oh my god, the Backbreaker!" It's like, ha.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So,
So this to me seems like another move from McMahon to make his show more accessible and kiddie friendly. I think this goes hand in hand with the curb stomp ban. Personally, that's the way I see things. They want to make the moves seem less like they actually hurt. So
I guess by not calling it a breaker, I suppose
they'll probably call it like a back slam. I don't know. I don't know how they do it, but it's a weird move. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but it is a weird move. Let's just be honest. He probably feels it makes the show overall a little bit more accessible to investors and possible networks, USA or investors in the company. So that's probably where it's come from. But
yeah,
it's a weird story anyway, to be honest. But there we go. Now to our main meat and bones of our news of this week. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Roddy Piper. And we're not talking about a match, people, because that would be pretty awful at this point. More Piper for Austin, but... So here we go. Let me begin. Now, before this began, as you know, both men had a Podcast One contract. They would be doing stuff on Podcast One.
Do you know what the worst part is?
Go on.
I wasn't aware that Roddy Piper was on Podcast One.
Neither was I, to be honest.
Apparently Flair's got one.
Goldberg has one. Shaquille O'Neal has one.
I know. Look, how could,
everyone has
I
one.
listened to a few podcasts on Podcast One. How could I not know that Shaq's got one?
Anyone who's been like a former face in that particular field, they'll get a deal on Podcast One. I think that's pretty much.
Yeah, but I had no idea that. Like, I think it might just be because I don't go filtering through it. I just like featured. Okay, Jericho. I literally just talk as Jericho, and occasionally the Ross Report.
Yeah, I pretty much skip between Ross Report, Austin show, and
I still look at the Austin show, but I'm just like, he has to have a guest, and it has to be half decent. Yeah, so otherwise, I'm just like, eh.
He's had like 200 episodes, like 250 episodes of his show at this point, so it's
it's not slack.
Yeah, I hate to say that. I mean, we've had like 83 episodes of our show, and we're doing pretty well. And obviously, he's Austin. You know, he'll be fine. But anyway, we're getting away from it here. So both men had it, and they both had a WWE Legends contract. Now, at the end of this week, one of them doesn't have any of them.
Yeah,
and he attributes it to the other, and it certainly ain't Steve Austin. So, Roddy Piper was through his words. Right, I'm going to go through his words, and I'll go in Austin's words. He stated that he did a mock sort of podcast, kind of making fun of Austin. They kind of did like an impression of him, right, and made a few insider jokes at his expense. Soon after that, he was dropped from Podcast One.
Yep.
This is his words now. And then shortly after that, his WWE Legends contract is gone. Now, Austin replied to this because, I mean, Piper, believe me, he's had his mouth wide open. Accusations. I made the mistake of going on his Twitter. Believe me, that was a mistake. There is tons of accusations being thrown towards Austin.
Really?
He is retweeting anyone that has anything negative to say about Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's pretty awful, right? Now, Austin stated back, listen, I've got nothing to do with this, right? As far as I know, the conversation was between Piper and the head of Podcast One. Apparently Piper's the one who cancelled his show, or the head of Podcast One, whatever. I think he even spoke to the head of Podcast One. And he said, listen, I'm too old for this shit. I don't want any of this drama. And then obviously Roddy Piper's going, I'm going to reveal all because I'll tell on the podcast because he's just moved it to another place now. Now, who do I believe in this? I believe Stone Cold Steve Austin. And the reason being is because I like to think after the years of listening to interviews, knowing, I don't know the guy personally, but you can kind of get a sense of his personality. Steve Austin is not a petty bastard, right? That's just one character trait that does not go with Austin, right? I don't see him as being this guy being, oh man, he's fucking Roddy Piper. I'm going to call up and make sure he gets all this fucked up because I'm Stone Cold Steve. Austin famously doesn't give a shit what you think about him.
Yeah.
He's made that.
To be fair, he's gone out on the record and said that a few times, where it's just like, do you want? I know who I am.
Yeah. This is a guy who openly on his own podcast told everyone that he takes Viagra. I don't think he's got any problems with people making any sort of quips about his personal life, right? He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care, all right? And I listened to Austin's rebuttal. It seemed like as if he kind of didn't know what the fuck was going on, that it's just all been labelled at him. And what I see, this is the way I'm going down. Now, I could be wrong. This could be sordid. I don't know, right? But this is my opinion. I'll get your opinion in a sec, Matt. But it seems to me that for some reason, Piper had his show off Podcast One. Maybe he wasn't getting that many views. Maybe he was being a little bit too controversial for, Podcast One. Maybe Podcast One had an issue with him. I don't know. Maybe he cancelled it himself. I don't know, right? He certainly says that Austin did it. I don't believe that, right? And then maybe his outburst after that is what got his WWE Legends contract.
I mean, especially to take it onto such a public a forum as Twitter.
Yeah. Right.
Where they're essentially just petty bitching about each other. Well, Piper's petty bitching about Austin.
Well, he's launching in his terms, a full fucking scale attack at Austin. And Austin's over here saying, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you've got fans on there which are idiotic, stating, "Oh, he's already admitted he cancelled your show," and then Piper's retweeting that, even though Austin hasn't agreed to that. In fact, it was quite the contrary. He said, "I don't even know what the fuck is going on." Yeah. It seems to me, and listen, I love Roddy Piper, right? The character, I don't know the guy, right? But I love Roddy Piper and his contributions to wrestling. I'm not getting at that. But what it certainly seems like to me is that him going crazy about all this got his Legends contract out of the way. It wasn't as if he was ever being used, guys, let's be honest. Yeah. When was the last time Roddy Piper's been on TV?
True.
Yeah. So maybe they're looking at cutting a few corners. It wouldn't be the first time that they've taken a Legends contract away from someone. This isn't untold news. And he basically gave WWE a reason to do so. So I'm more inclined to agree with Austin. I think Austin's sitting here thinking, what the fuck? You know? Like, Piper's put 2 and 2 together. He says he's got he's going to reveal all. I don't think he's got any evidence. I think he's got what he thinks is evidence, basically by joining up the dots himself. I think you need a little bit more than that, personally. I really do. And I think, I listened to Austin, I thought he was extremely genuine about it, just not really knowing what the fuck's going on. And I honestly think he's a man like me. We don't want any fucking drama. We haven't got time for it, alright? So, what's your thoughts on it, Matt? Whose side are you on with it? Who do you believe?
I'm on the Austin side. I'm on the Austin bench.
Yeah.
Just essentially in the same arguments that you're making. I mean, that's what we were saying, like, all along. Like, before you went, I'm going to put my point across. But that's it. It's just sort of like he has always just been open, honest on his podcasts. I mean, I couldn't imagine a moment where he's been like the seedy saboteur in this whole situation.
It just doesn't match up, does it? It just doesn't at all.
Nothing at all. I think it's just a case of like Piper going like 2 and 2 and we're making 5 sort of thing.
Yeah, and then something.
And sort of he's feeling arse hurt, and now he's just sort of like, I need someone to blame.
Yeah. So,
fuck it, Austin, who's more successful than me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if it was levied at any other person, I may even think other way. I may be thinking, wow, this does look a little bit seedy. But this is Steve Austin. He don't give a shit what anyone thinks. You can mock him all you like. He doesn't care. If he does care, he'll call you out on it. He won't go to seedy. He won't call up this CEO and I'll call up my buddy Triple H and get his fucking Legends contract redone. No, I don't see it being that way at all.
If anything, it's probably. Like, it probably involved a phone call with Piper just saying, you're putting us in an awkward position here because you're being, you're still under contract with us.
Yeah, you're firing a lot of shots, being very negative.
And you're being a bit of a bitch.
Yeah. It does seem that way. It does seem that way. Now, if Piper has irrefutable evidence, man, I'll be the first to look at it, but I don't think there is any.
Like, I'd happily just go, okay, there's proof. I was wrong to doubt him.
That's all I can think. That's all I can think about it. Let's move on, Matt. You have got a question for fan feedback.
I do.
This is monumental.
Now, it seems quite odd. I was actually quite shocked. I was like, I have a Twitter notification.
Wow.
And it's not like, oh, WWE are tweeting about this. It's like, hold on a second. This looks like the form of a question.
So you take this segment, Matt, and you run with it. Do whatever you think. You can even answer it first the way I do when I get questions on this show. Go on. Go take it away.
Now, the question came from Dan Massey?
Dan Massey. Yeah, that's how I used to call him.
Yeah. Which former WWE star who currently is in the Indies would we like to return and be successful? Dan suggests Masters.
Chris Masters. All right, I'll let you go first.
I can understand that. I'd quite like to see Chris Masters come back in, but maybe not in his whole I'm going to put people in the lock challenge. But do you know what? Originally, I was like, I'd kind of like Morrison to come back. After watching all of the stuff that he was doing in Lucha for the past season, I was like, him coming back would be quite cool.
I think it would be quite fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon he could put us a good match. I reckon him and Rollins could put on a show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the things I always found about him, and I always said it before, is like promo. He's pretty shit, but I mean in Lucha Underground, he's a little bit better because it is obviously taped and stuff. But you're going with Morrison. Is that your final pick? Is it Morrison? Man, is that the first thing that pops to mind?
Yeah, that's really. I can't really think of anyone else, to be brutally honest.
My pick would be. Well, he was in WWE. He spent more time away from there, but he was in WWE. I would take EC3 back to WWE if you with the precursor of him being successful. If he was
that's a difficult one because that would then regard that you're declaring TNA as an indie.
I do. They're not WWE. Let's be honest, right?
If you're not WWE, you're not.
No, but, like, do you regard Ring of Honor as indie?
Yeah, fair point.
Right, because I
saying that I'm then declaring
Honor
Lucha as indie, so I'm sort of like you don't have to be on TV to not be an indie show.
Yeah, you kind of back yourself into. Yeah, I'd take EC3.
I will admit, like actually, since going to TNA, he's come leaps and bounds.
Yeah. Like
old Derek.
But the thing is, right, it's with the precursor of him being successful. Because if it was just a question of who do you like to see back, if EC3 goes back to WWE, he won't be EC3 anymore. They'll basically Bateman him again, and he won't get anywhere. He has to go in as EC3, and he needs to be that character. Otherwise, and he needs to be successful with it, obviously. But I'd take him back. I think he would do a great job. But,
okay, I mean that's the good thing because at least with mine, he could just come back and be Morrison again.
Yeah. He pretty much he would be Morrison again, wouldn't he? They wouldn't repackage him or anything like that. So yeah, that's cool. If you guys want to send any questions to us, you can leave them in the comment section below, or as this week, you can send them to Twitter at TalkWrestlePod, and we will answer them next week on the show. Now, let's get into our NXT report card. We will be reviewing two of the development talent, one in ring and one not. So that's a little bit interesting. We're going to be reviewing Marcus Louis, who was on the show this week, and I think a couple of weeks ago, and Corey Graves. And the reason I bring him on here is because he is, by and large, an NXT announcer. I know he is. He has his own show on the WWE Network. He's on the pre-shows, but I would state his main body of work, especially in NXT, especially in WWE, is probably being that NXT heel announcer. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. But Marcus Louis first. Now, when he first came in, he was Sylvester Lefort's sort of sidekick, could you call him? And then he got his hair
until he got accidentally hair creamed.
Yeah, he got hair creamed. That's it. And that's not someone creaming into his hair. Well, they did kind of do that, and they had to take it all off. So that's
a shameless pay-per-view plot right there.
Well, I had to fit one in somewhere, to be honest. It's the way it is. But now he's doing this, what I like to call the mini Kane. He is coming out bald. He's even got the Kane trousers. And he's coming out and he's like doing all the weird facial expressions, looking as menacing as he possibly can.
I mean, you could almost rhyme it off because he's angry, Louis.
Yeah, exactly, sure. And
okay.
Now,
I love it when oh yeah, sure, moving swiftly on.
Yeah. But before I give anyone the idea of actually doing that, let's move on. So here's my thing about Louis. He's not particularly that gifted in the ring. He's okay. He's not that convincing, I will say.
Yeah.
But he's going full kilter with this gimmick that, unfortunately for me, I don't see going very far.
So this is another one of those where all I've watched this week is Tough Enough. I haven't even watched NXT, and it sickens me.
Well, you saw a little bit before. He was tagging with Jason Jordan, if you remember that.
I saw a picture.
Yeah, he's mini Kane, right? He's small. He's in a smaller build than Kane.
But I've just realised something else that I read. This is like I know we're not just talking about Marcus Louis here, but does that mean he's now going to team with Gable?
Who? Jordan is now. Yeah. This week he said he would on NXT. So.
Yes.
Exactly. There you are.
I'm loving the whole Gable thing.
Because he's ready, willing. I don't, for some
he's
reason,
ready, he's willing, he's Gable. I love it.
I don't know why. I know
so
I should
terrible,
fucking
but I love
despise
it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same. I'm like, it should suck. And to be honest, it kind of does suck. But why do I like it? I kind of want to see these guys tag up to each other. So fair play to Jordan and Gable for making that work. But More about Marcus Louis. Yeah, sorry, guy, I can't see this going. There just isn't much going for him, right? And he got beaten by Solomon Crowe, who I don't think is doing that much better. Let's be honest, right? Even though he's probably got more potential.
Who does, Crowe or Louis?
Crowe.
I really don't care for
Yeah,
Crowe.
yeah. To be honest, Crowe hasn't even shown us that much. We kind of. Never...
I was going to say, because it's just like against Solomon Crowe. It's like, yeah, he's been around a lot recently.
Yeah, he had one segment and one match, which he won on this week. So, but before then, he just got destroyed by Kevin Owens, and that was pretty much it. So, yeah, your thought. Well, obviously, you don't have that much thoughts on the guy.
I'm literally going back to when, like, my review of him is when they were feuding with Enzo and Cass.
Yeah. Which is a long time ago now.
Which is a very long time ago. So it's literally just like, what do you remember from, Jesus? How long ago was that?
That was like one of the first NXT specials, wasn't it? I'm sure it was.
That was when Carmella first came.
Yeah. That's
because they were testing the cream and they stuck it on Carmella's dog.
Yeah, because that was the actual segment that had her involved in it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
After Enzo got back.
Talking 8 months ago?
Yeah, it must be. It was a long while ago.
I feel unqualified to comment.
So you're not going to give him a grade?
I won't.
Okay, I'm giving him a D-. One of the harsher ones I've given. But to be honest, it ain't that much to the guy, apart from him snarling. And to be honest, as I said, the biggest compliment I can give to him is that he's mini Kane. But guess what? There's a big Kane on Raw, and they already have him. So what's the point in you doing that? He either needs to do something different, or he needs to excel, and he's doing neither. And that's my issue with Marcus Louis. One man you can talk about in a little bit more depth is Corey Graves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Corey Graves, I'm just going to allude to people here. I'm a big fan of his work. I actually think that he has taken to announcing far better than he ever did the ring. So maybe, if you look at it in that sense, it may be a blessing in disguise for him, because I don't know how far, he's a good looking guy, he doesn't have to be that great, he can still fulfill a role, but at least in the announcing, people are enjoying his body of work, I enjoy Corey Graves on a weekly basis. I didn't like him that much when he was in the ring. So if we were evaluating him as a wrestler instead of announcer this week, I guarantee you his grade would be lower than what it is. Would you at least agree with that?
Yeah. I could agree with that.
So, what's his attributes? Well, he's very quick-witted. I think he's stated that already. He's got a good voice. He's got a good look. He looks different from the other announcers, which I like. I hope they keep that. I hope they don't just put him in a suit when he's up there. No, I like the way he looks on NXT. It's different. It's just a little bit more fresh. It's a little bit more in style, I would say. Makes the announce team look less.
Do you know what? Actually, since recently with Kevin Owens, prior to Kevin Owens losing the belt, when he's been on the announce team,
yeah,
and he's sat next to Byron. He's like, "Hello, Byron. Hey, how you doing?" Just teasing him and picking on him the whole way through. And there's Corey Graves on the other side, so quick, never missing a beat, and he's just like, "What are you going to do about that, Byron? How dare you disrespect him? He is our champion."
Yeah, he's so quick on the mark.
The amount of time, literally, I think every other word that came out, every other sentence that came out of Kevin Owens was, "Thanks, Corey," because he's just literally just like, "Kevin Owens, let me kiss you because I love you because you're the heel and I'm the heel, and we shall cuddle together. But first, let's pick on Byron."
First of all, what I would state though, right, is I love the interaction. Though I would agree with you, with Graves and Owens. I'd love to see more of that. I know Owens is not going to be around that much, but if you play right, let's put this into. Let's do a little bit of a teaser of what actually happened on Raw. JBL got his ass handed to him by Titus O'Neil this week. We'll go into that a little bit later.
Who did?
JBL got his ass completely destroyed by Titus O'Neil, right? Verbally.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, verbally?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I thought you were Titus went heel and beat the shit out of JBL. Would that be a heel turn?
No, that would still be very face. I think like that. So, Brock Lesnar fucking F5'd Michael Cole, and he's the biggest fucking face of the company right now, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, if Corey Graves was in that position in JBL's, I don't think he would have got nearly as bad. He wouldn't have looked nearly as bad. I think Corey Graves is the best heel announcer WWE have at the moment. Now, does that mean that he's ready for Raw? Not quite yet, because Raw comes with a lot of different added stuff. I mean, fucking hell, you have to read that list for one that we labeled at the start of the show. But yeah, is he? But if I were JBL, I'd be worried because there's a better looking, younger, a guy who's quicker witted and can talk better than you, just literally waiting right behind you. I would politic the shit and make sure I've still got my job. Because if it's going without any sort of politics, I would put Corey Graves in JBL's spot today. I would promote Corey Graves to Raw now.
Well, you are set. Let's go.
Yeah. There's no reason why Corey Graves should not be in JBL's seat week in, week out. Because JBL isn't very good. I think we've made that statement perfectly, right? Over the last 82 episodes, we've stated very, very bluntly, JBL is very fucking bad at the moment. He's just getting worse week in, week in, week. He's getting more predictable, and he's getting less on the mark. You know, he's not a very good heel announcer, let's just be honest. Who is a good heel announcer? Corey Graves is a good heel announcer. So
yeah.
What is your grade for Corey Graves? Because with that in mind,
Corey Graves, I give him an A.
Yeah, I'm going with an A.
I literally can't find a fault with him. In fact, I think part of his charm of it is the fact that he's been given this opportunity, where it's like, where you've had like, there was that video. Did you see it where it was like Triple H backstage at Mania, and they're like, look, if it sucks that you're now unfit to compete.
Yeah, they gave him a 2-year contract. Yeah,
here's a contract, and they're like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah,
I don't know whether it makes it like, you know, like a proper swan song and things like that, but it's just like, that's pretty cool. I don't know whether it adds to it, but
no, it was a feel-good moment. It really was, because, you know, for all intents, I mean, one of the cool things of that E60 behind the Curtain documentary is that it showed the devastation of him. Like, I'm not going to have a job. Like, I'm injured and I'm not going to have a job. Like, what do I do? And then suddenly he gets given this lifeline by the company. I'm drinking my Pepsi there, as I alluded to on my solo episode.
Sip of Pepsi to the working man.
Exactly. So, yeah, like I said, I go with a grade A as well. It's He'd have to be probably one of the best announcers I've ever heard to get an A-star, and he's certainly not that.
He's no JR.
He's no JR, but he's no King in his prime. King in his prime, I think people don't understand just how fucking good.
We kind of overlook it, don't we?
Yeah, King now is nowhere
close.
Modern
day King.
Yeah, like this King is nowhere close to the King of old, right? But Corey Graves is extremely good in the role he's doing, and like I said, the fact is, if you're looking at it in general skill on, how well someone talks, that's what an announcer's job is. Corey Graves should have JBL's spot. If I were JBL, I'd be very fucking worried. Well, maybe he isn't, because he knows that the fact is he can just flaunt his name, right? I'm JBL, and Vince will listen to that a little bit. He'll be like, well, we can't put Corey Graves there. We've got JBL. He's JBL. Doesn't matter. He's doing shit. Replace him with someone that's doing good.
Yeah,
it should be that easy. But we're also talking about the same company that had JR on contract for years and years and years and years and still didn't use him as an announcer. So, and that's the greatest wrestling announcer of all time, arguably. But he's still one of the best, right? In my opinion, he is. But they could have used him and thought, no, you know what? No, we won't. We will just not go with that. So, that's the thought of it there. Raw review now. So, obviously, Matt has precursed this by saying you've not watched... Well, you watched the end of the show, let's be honest.
I've watched the main event, and I watched a little bit of Lesnar beating the shit out of a car, because WWE's, like, top 10 for today has been, like, vehicular destruction.
Oh, so you saw that then? You saw Brock Lesnar...
I saw him attack it with an axe for about 10 seconds. That's about it.
Yeah. So obviously we'll get to that, and I'll explain. I watched all of Raw, and I did all
Before we go into it, do you just want to take a guess? Like, there's one person who was in 3 of those top 10 for vehicle destructions.
I don't know. Could it be Stone Cold Steve Austin by any?
It could very well be. Yes.
It seemed like all of some of the most memorable stuff was him with a vehicle. It doesn't even have to be him destroying one.
Which one was it? Number 10 was him running over the Rock's car with the monster truck.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I think it was like number 6 or something was when he dropped
that bar onto the DX Express. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously number 1, obviously concrete.
Yeah. You know what's funny as well? Like I said, that's the only times where he's destroyed something using a vehicle. You know, the fact he came out with a fucking like truck to spray beer everywhere. He
came out with the Zamboni. The Zamboni wins, or maybe the little like 4x4 ATV that he came out for Mania.
Yeah, Austin and vehicles kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Does it have an engine? Good.
Yeah. Well, he's a redneck, isn't he? So you kind of expect him to know his way around a few vehicles. So the Raw review this week. Now, we're fresh from what I would say, well, last week was the lowest rated Raw in God knows how long. And it has been following a very bad trend of Raw, right? We can safely say the Raws recently have been pretty shit, right? Let's just be honest. Since, I think, Elimination Chamber... the week after Elimination Chamber, or maybe it was the week after, we had the 2-1. Yeah, it was the week after Elimination Chamber. Pretty much since then, it's all been pretty bad, let's just be honest, right? So you'd expected them to kind of roar back, and it's straight off the Beast in the East event in Japan, which was very good. And Brock Lesnar is on Raw. He's probably done more travelling this week than he's probably done in like 3 years, knowing him, because I know he famously hates travelling, but... he's willing to do it because he was seeing one of his friends, which I think, unfortunately, is not in great health in Japan. So
that's probably why he went most of all.
Everyone, that's the news that came out, that the only reason he went there in the first place is to see his mate, and obviously because WWE's doing an event over there, it's like, well, I can basically write this off as a business expense. So fair play, Lesnar. He played the system. I've got no issue with that.
Yeah, he played the game. He played the game good.
Yeah, he plays it very fucking well. Jesus. This is in the CM Punk backyard of Chicago. And they no CM Punk chants actually on this show. I think it's the first time we've been in Chicago and no such chants have not been heard.
Really?
But to be honest, I mean, he's been gone for a year and a half. Let's just, he's been gone a while now. Brock Lesnar kicks off the show.
To be fair, it's been long enough. Nowhere near as long as nowhere near as short a time as for that picture that I sent you. About that guy, just like, oh my god, Paige is so good meeting her fans.
Yeah. Oh god,
she must be thrilled. There's a picture of Paige and AJ.
Yeah,
like fucking hell.
It's like she's only been gone 3 fucking months. Like,
exactly. We counted it back, didn't we? It's like, so she left pretty much day after Mania.
Yeah.
So end of March, end of April, end of May, end of June. So it's like, yeah, what? Not even 3.5 months. Oh, look at Paige's fan.
It's hilarious. I thought that was hilarious, but so as I said there, Brock Lesnar kicks off the show. Whenever Brock Lesnar kicks off the show, it's business time, baby, as Brock Lesnar likes to say himself. And it's funny how one appearance from Brock Lesnar already makes this show way more engaging than last week. It was like, okay, Brock Lesnar's here, as JR would say, business is about to pick up.
That's it. I mean, all you really need is just that sort of like reverb on the guitar, and it's like, yep, cool.
Yeah. Heyman is there with him, and Heyman obviously takes the mic, so Brilliance is about to ensue. He calls Seth Rollins a moronic Justin Bieber who lucked into a championship, and he will realise that Lesnar is thy God, hallowed be thy name, upon the church of Suplex City, for he is the God of violent retribution. Jesus Christ. Lesnar is the fucking immortal god of ass-kicking, apparently. So,
oh, yeah.
We know that for sure. Violent Retribution, however, that should be the name of the next WWE video game. Violent Retribution. I like that one. Heyman implies that anyone helping Seth Rollins is also in for the pain, as Jamie Noble can obviously attest to. He states that Lesnar didn't disrespect any of his opponents before. Undertaker... Triple H, Cena, any of those guys that he obliterated, and for championships and breaking streaks, he didn't disrespect them. He doesn't disrespect them. He just took what he wanted. But now Lesnar harbours disrespect for Seth Rollins, because he intentionally provoked Lesnar, and not once, not twice, but 3 times. So this means now Brock Lesnar is about to, as Rogan from UFC likes to say, he's going to use him as a condom to fuck someone else. That's what Brock Lesnar's going to do.
That's the same analogy you used when it came to Beast in the East.
Well, that's where I got it from.
And then he used Kofi as a condom and fucked the rest of the New Day.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I got it from. You can attest that to Rogan. So Now, while Heyman also states, while the title match is at Battleground, the crowd obviously boo. And they're going, well, actually, no, you'll get onto my side when I say this. The beatings begin tonight. And obviously the crowd are like, yay! Yeah. And I would take 3 hours of Raw if it was just Lesnar annihilating the entire mid-card. I would be quite happy with that.
Just Lesnar just marching through.
Yeah, just destroying
Like,
people.
I was listening to a gaming podcast, and the guy on it is quite a big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And it was quite an old one, but he was referring to, do you remember when Randy Orton was going around just RKOing people until he got what he wanted?
Yeah.
He was referring to that, and I was like, I was just like, now imagine that was Lesnar.
Yeah, he just starts suplexing people until he gets whatever
Just
he
Suplex
wants.
City, bitch!
Yeah.
Chicago is now Suplex City.
Yeah. And everyone gets one. Free of charge. Brock Lesnar
It's not in a fixed place. It can move.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, if anyone wants to live in Suplex City, at very least, the mayor is very generous. He hands out suplexes to anyone.
That's it.
So. The crowd.
Suplexes for all.
Yeah, the crowd start chanting Suplex City. And talking about Suplex City, it's funny. All the people that were so against Lesnar using all those German suplexes, this is last year at SummerSlam. Do you remember that? Oh my God, he used it way too much.
16 German suplexes.
So many suplexes. It's funny how that turned out now, isn't it? That it's like a fucking
It's now
thing,
almost his
right?
gimmick.
Yeah. Right? And
It's almost like Lesnar has a gimmick, which is just go out there and do what you do. Suplex him.
Yeah. And I had no problem. Jesus, I would have taken 30 German suplexes at SummerSlam last year. I fucking loved it. And like I said, the actual thought of a German suplex is you're physically manhandling your opponent. That's what it's getting over, right?
It's probably the most intense looking suplex.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, believe me, Brock Lesnar picked that suplex for a fucking reason, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this opening segment, 10 minutes of just fucking Paul Heyman gold, with Brock Lesnar saying, okay, it's time to kill some people. And everyone's, I'm happy with that. Matt, you'd be happy with that? Chicago was fucking elated with that.
I was going to say, it's definitely the right, like the right city to be in.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I got to beat the shit out of people. Yeah! Because we're Chicago!
So, moving on, Matt, I'm going to ask you a question.
I didn't actually notice that Brock Lesnar fan was there again.
Yeah, he was there. So, I saw him. So here's my question to you, Matt, right? Kane is in Hawaii this week, apparently. And we know it's not. But, you know, because of last week, he's being sent to Hawaii, so he's still there, right?
Okay.
So with that being said, how would you have shown Kane in Hawaii? How would you have done it?
I wouldn't.
Would you maybe have at least taken some pictures of him at a beach? You know, maybe done a few vignettes of him sipping on.
Yeah, like even if or just take him down to the performance center for a day. He can go down there. He can do a talk with the trainees, and they're like, right, what's you doing? We're gonna go down to the beach.
Yeah, to take the cameras down there and take a few pictures. Say it's Hawaii. No one knows. You know,
isn't it because I'm pretty sure I saw this on Facebook that somebody was going on about it, where they just essentially just done the worst photoshopping of a wish you were here postcard.
It was essentially if my 5-year-old had taken my Photoshop software, which I use for this podcast, and decided I'm just going to make some pictures of Kane. That was essentially it. They showed images. Oh, by the way, conclusive proof that Kane is in Hawaii. Oh wow, look at him! He's having such a great time. The images were so
how could he not be
photoshopped? It was actually quite painful to. I was a bit like, no one in their own right mind goes, oh wow, look how he's having such a great. Even though he looks like he's standing in a photo booth somewhere. I tell you what it looked for the biggest wrestling show in the world. It looked amateur. So why not send Kane to an actual fucking beach? Pay for the guy to go to a beach. If you're that over, I mean, they didn't even have to show these, right? All they could just say is Kane's in Hawaii this week, he won't be here. That's all they need to do. But they felt that they needed to drive that point home. If you did feel you need to do that, just send him to a fucking beach somewhere, take a few pictures, or take a vignette of him just going, I'm really enjoying the sun here in Hawaii. That's all you needed to do.
That's it. Even just sort of going at least my plan at least had him sort of do some sort of purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. Just let him actually go on a holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why don't you pay for the guy to go to Hawaii for at least?
It's like, you know what, Kane? You've been with us for a fair while. You know what? We're going to treat you.
Yeah. Exactly, like, what was it, 20 years with the company? He's always done
Yeah, about that. So surely he's earned himself a holiday.
But no, apparently just Photoshop. It looked like they told Kane, okay, we're not actually sending you to Hawaii. Can you just figure out how to Photoshop some footages? And the Kane was like, I don't know how to use fucking Photoshop, and that's what happened, right? So, yeah. Basically, what they did show, funny enough, is J&J Security's road trip to Chicago, right? And they've got loads of video vignettes of them being at, like, the ballparks. They, they're basically saying, oh, wow, this place is a piece of trash, getting over the, being heels. That was actually pretty good. Why couldn't they have just done that for Kane? It makes no sense to me, but still. Big Show versus Ryback to open the show. Well,
Whoa.
show, yeah. Miz is at ringside with his director's chair. He's barking out instructions throughout the entirety of this match. I would be annoyed.
Let me guess. Miz gets involved. Or someone gets thrown into the Miz.
See, Matt, we haven't even thought of the thing. Because you've only watched 2 segments, you need to tell me exactly what you think is going to happen. And I'll tell you if you can predict it.
Yeah.
By the way, you're
Miz
right.
got involved because someone threw Because probably Big Show threw Ryback at him.
Not so much that, but he did get involved. You're pretty close, right? You're pretty close.
There was a lot of face-to-face, I think you're an idiot. Screw you, big guy. I'm going to eat you like a chicken wing.
Kind of, yeah. But basically what happens in this match is that he's basically barking out instructions. Oh, yeah, you're so good, Kane, and Big Show and Ryback. Oh, beat him up, make do all this sort of stuff, and they're all trying to lash out at him. But obviously, they've still got a match to wrestle.
Yeah.
Now, I would be annoyed at the distraction of the Miz, but to be honest, I wasn't that particularly invested in the match, so it actually was a welcome distraction, if I'm honest. And I'll tell you what, before I go into what happened, I realised one of the big issues with Kane is actually, funny enough, one of the things that people will remember him
with Kane?
Sorry, it's because I'm bringing the analogy with Kane. Kane is the same person in this. With Big Show, it's his longevity. That's his Achilles heel at the moment. He's been around too long, right? And Kane is under the same issue right there. That they've been around so long, everyone's seen what they can do and how they can do it, and they've watched thousands of matches with both men. The fans just don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah.
There's no match, Matt. Is there any match that you can think of with Big Show? Just pair him up with anyone on the roster currently. Would you like to see him wrestle? And you would like to see it wrestle in a pay-per-view match. Who would you like to see him go against?
I can't think of anyone I'd happily see Big Show wrestle on pay-per-view.
Exactly. That's his problem, right? Right there. You don't want to see him wrestle anyone, right? That's his issue. So basically what happens here in this match, Big Show looks like he's got it won. Miz has been annoying them. He basically comes in and attacks them both, which is obviously a dipshit idea because he gets trapped between both of them. He gets shell-shocked and choke-slammed, and then Ryback lays out Big Show. Well, I say he lays him out. He meat hooks him, stands tall in the ring, and then literally about 2 seconds later, Big Show's already rolled out and he's walking out up the ramp. It's like, wow, that really didn't hurt you. Okay, you're gonna Andy Levine it when he got stunned, remember? And he just kind of
completely no sell it.
He just no sold it on the outside. So yeah, that was the no sell of the week anyway with that one. So yeah, they're going forward for this triple threat, and you know what's funny? I actually think that Miz has got a good shot of winning it because they're doing this whole thing of, oh, there's no chance he'll win it. He's just the outsider, and then he'll be the one who wins it.
I don't want him to win it.
No, I mean Ryback's champion. Just book him strong. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
They show more horribly photoshopped pictures of Kane in Hawaii, but they show, as I said, J&J Security at the Chicago ballpark calling it trash. That I did laugh at that because the fans were like, "What? What the fuck did you just say?" Yeah, I like that. That was good. Paige versus Brie Bella. Now, it's something about Paige on Tough Enough and also on Total Divas. I don't know about you, Matt, but for me, has sort of removed the sheen over her. That I'm not nearly as excited to see Paige anymore. And I don't know whether it's over saturation. Literally everywhere you look, Paige is on that show if it's WWE based.
Especially considering, does your other half still watch Total Divas?
She watches it when it comes up. It's not like she's dying over the new episodes being released. No, she's not that.
Okay.
Not that crazy about it.
Do you know one thing that's now really depressing?
Go on.
I think I might have watched more episodes than your wife.
Wow. Do you want to stew on that for a bit? Yeah. Everyone.
Like I think I've probably got like the season finale of season 3 to watch.
Get this, Matt. You are the leading authority on Total Divas.
Oh no. I don't even know how it happened. I could literally, this is the worst part, is like, I'll have days at work and I'm like, I feel like shit. Maybe if I didn't sit up and watch 3 fucking episodes of Total Divas. So I don't know how it happens. Just all of a sudden, I'm trying to find something mind-numbing put me to sleep. And guess what? I'm 3 episodes in and I'm not falling asleep.
Your regional manager's asking you why you're tired, but you just don't want to reveal that you've been watching Total Divas, and that's why you're tired.
No.
I was watching Breaking Bad, sure.
Yeah, proper TV. Fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, the leading authority on Total
Hey,
Divas.
it's better than Tough Enough.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's quite bad and Tough Enough. I actually would agree with you, to be honest. They're both fake, to be honest. They're as much reality as each other, so I think that's a bit big enough indictment. But, yeah, to me, man, with Paige, I'm just like, she's now kind of, I don't know whether I'm using this right, but she's kind of now, she's one of them. She has the feeling of, she's not one of ours, and she's not really one of the, she's not like the mold breaker anymore. She isn't the Paige that's going to change everything. She's one of the divas now. And I don't know, to me, it's going to be like, ugh. I still like her.
Does it not make you think of that like Star Wars scene? It's like, you were supposed to be the chosen one.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I'm shouting that there. She's just falling into a sea of other divas, and I can't hold her up because, you know.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have some fucked up nightmares tonight. I tell you that much. Paige, no. You were meant to be the chosen one.
That's just me in the corner in an armchair, just like, shh. Divas is on.
Looking really sordid. The new episode is out, Tony. Would you like to watch?
It's probably the worst part is the fact that, like, recently with the website I use on my phone for streaming WWE, like, I record it on my Skybox. That's fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes I can't get to my Skybox, so it's just like, I will watch it on my phone. Nope. And most of my streaming links that I find, like, WWE has pulled this down through copyright content. So I actually have probably better luck watching Total Divas than I do Raw.
Yeah. There's something seriously wrong with that, I think, to be honest.
I know.
But yeah, like, with Paige, I still like her. She's a Brit and she's a good wrestler, but she's the furthest thing away from what she could have been, an anti-diva, than what she is. She's a diva through and through. 100% she's a diva. So
yeah. Well, hopefully this whole SummerSlam thing comes to fruition.
Because I tell you what, funny enough, Sasha Banks could go in. I don't mind her becoming a diva because in fact, that's part of her gimmick, and she plays it really, really well. So if she becomes like, I guess the whole part of a diva is a little bit more like along of you're one of the mold rather a mold breaker. So maybe maybe I'm not as happy with that. But
One of us.
So this match is okay, nothing fantastic. Brie gets the win after the distraction. Congratulations, Paige, you got beat by
Did she shout Brie mode and do a really ugly looking shining wizard?
No, she didn't do that.
She didn't?
No, it was literally just a distraction, bang, done, sort of thing. But like I said...
So I hate her running knee thing.
Well, this her shining wizard, like, fail.
Against the ropes, sort of, here's my thigh, slap.
Yeah.
Brie
I can only think of Rusev doing that now. I don't know why, that fucking picture, it's just ruined it for me. It's like me and the Sheamus intro. It's a great entrance, but I fucked it for myself, and I fucked it for a few other people. But
it what, the one that it looks like he's ejaculating, or because I sent you that picture of him dressed as Paige?
Yeah.
You can't be a diva, Bella.
But anyway, back to this. So Paige got beaten by Brie before we go down that shameless cross-dressing pay-per-view plot. Yeah, Paige got beat by Brie, which means Paige was beaten by the most spineless woman in entertainment history. That's exactly what Brie is. She's spineless.
Yeah?
Her entire character, she's completely spineless. She got bullied by the establishment, which she got beaten because her sister turned on her. Her sister wished that she wouldn't die and was her, slave for 30 days, and she got humiliated and
then all of a sudden 30 days was up and she's
completely
fine with it.
Yeah, completely fine. Completely. She's the most.
Like, do I hold
spineless
any
woman.
resentment? No, because she's my sister.
You know, if the words leave her mouth, I want to be a positive role model for women. I will slap the shit out of the writer who write. I'm not going to slap the shit out of a woman. You thought I was getting fucking mean. Now I wasn't getting fucking mean. I will slap the shit out of the writer who decided to put her through that. Because to be honest, she comes off, like I said, the most spineless woman in entertainment history. She's like a domestic abuse victim who's just like, I'm actually okay with this being over. I'm fine. It's okay. I like being abused.
Changed.
I like being embarrassed. I like having, being made to look like a fool each week. That's fine with me. Yeah. I'm fine being the number 2 on my sister's champion and telling me exactly what to do each week. I am as happy as Larry about that.
Yeah.
So she's the most spineless woman in entertainment history. So there you go. Alicia, Fox, and Nikki then hit their finishes on Paige and celebrate the victory. As you said there, Matt, the plan is to have the saviors come in and save this fucking.
Oh no! We can't call them saviors.
Why?
We'll jinx it.
Okay.
Paige was meant to be our savior.
The NXT Divas, we'll call them for now, but that's what I'm thinking in my head. We're gonna have Charlotte and Sasha Banks coming in and aid Paige in a 6-woman tag match, which I want to see because Charlotte and Sasha Banks are in it. That's pretty much.
I would just want to see it because then hopefully that means Paige will go, hang on a second, I can do this shit too.
Yeah, I'm actually.
And then
a good
suddenly
wrestler.
it'll just be Charlotte, Sasha, and Paige just wrestling circles around the Bellas and Alicia Fox.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. I really do. I hope the most.
Where it's like, we are going to take you to fucking school.
Yeah. I hope that they book Sasha Banks to come out like the boss in that match. I hope they do.
Yeah.
So. We'll see going forward. Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. Now, this is a decent enough match. It's still got the Sheamus syndrome. It's not as long as the majority of Sheamus's matches.
I'd imagine it's also nothing more than... Oh, I bet at one point Michael Cole referred to this as a very physical matchup.
Oh, wow. Well, you're very good. You're very good at your predictions there, Matt.
I'm half-arsing these estimates, and guess what?
You're getting them right.
I'm getting them right.
Exactly. So as Reigns he's gearing up for his spear towards the end of the match, Wyatt makes an appearance, comes down with his lantern. Reigns goes out, punches him, but they realise, wait a minute, you're not Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt up on the Titantron laughs and says, anyone but you, which I'm sure has some meaning, but I really couldn't give a shit. And this counts out Reigns, so Sheamus wins the match. And then celebrates until Randy Orton comes out. Matt, I hope you can remember, why are these guys feuding again?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I actually looked at my notes. I was like, because they... But they... Well, either I've forgotten or I just didn't care enough to register it, but I don't know why Sheamus and Randy Orton...
Because they are.
Because
reasons.
Reasons. That's
Powers,
as big a reason I can think of.
Powers beyond our understanding say that it is so.
So we must accept that it is.
We must obey Vince, the sheer overlord.
The sheer overlord. So what's funny then is that commentary then state, wow, Orton hasn't forgotten what Sheamus has put him through. And I'm like, I'm very glad that Orton hasn't forgotten, because I haven't got a fucking clue. I do not know why these guys hate each other, but okay. We still had two back-to-back matches with these guys that were boring as shit, so
yeah,
we're getting another one. Woohoo. Triple H is backstage. He's greeted by the WWE champion, Seth Rollins. He's asking his champion what is his plan with Brock Lesnar. And Rollins actually says, well, you know what? I could fancy some advice from a veteran like yourself. You beat, Brock Lesnar back at WrestleMania. He didn't actually say that, of course, because they don't want to bring that up, of course. Back when they weren't booking Lesnar nearly as good.
Yeah.
His advice is to keep him frustrated until he makes a mistake. Or, he could just kill Michael Cole again. I'm okay with that. He didn't say that, I'm saying that. But I'm still okay with that.
The worst part is, and get him frustrated. That's all well and good. But when he gets frustrated, he also gets more dangerous. Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. But then they come up with the magic idea of intentionally calling out Brock Lesnar. Now, I'm no mystic. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have, powers that can look into the future and evaluate people's decisions. But to
I don't see that being a very good idea.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good thing at all. That seems like the opposite of what you should be doing with Brock Lesnar. So, That's just my idea. And considering what happened later on, then maybe that'll ring a little bit more true. But I mean, after all, Seth is the king of walking into his own words. He could cut a promo. I, Seth Rollins, will never step into dark shit. Oh shit! I stepped on Vince's plans for Cesaro. Moving on.
How dare you say that?
But come on, it's true now. It's true, isn't it?
Don't say that.
It's true. I think I hurt a lot of Cesaro
That's
fans.
so much good stuff.
Man, I like. Well, we'll get into it later with Cesaro anyway. Rusev and Summer Rae take to the ring. Rusev is not happy. Is happy that Summer Rae apologized for our actions last week, so he's going to apologize also. No need to apologize, I'd say. It's just management that put you against John Cena, not us. We didn't do anything about it. No, he's apologizing for bringing Lana with him to WWE, and then apologizes to Dolph Ziggler for putting himself as low as Ziggler when he did that stuff last week. He says he's better looking and more passionate than Ziggler, because apparently that's what we're supposed to care about in the qualities with a mountainous Bulgarian brute, that he's more passionate. I kind of don't care that he's almost dropped my drink there, but it didn't happen. That he's more passionate, Matt. You know, do you care that he's more passionate, that he feels strongly about his love?
I honestly didn't care.
Yeah, neither did I, to be honest.
Because all I wanted was Rusev to be an ass-kicking beast, and I'm getting Rusev the girl.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem with Rusev at the moment. Now, obviously, they, at least at the end of this lengthy segment, he kind of got a little bit back to that, but we'll get into that. So, yeah, I mean, jokes aside here, right? First of all, poor character development. It's not the first time we've said this here. First, I'm getting serious here, all jokes aside. First, they forced Lana and Ziggler together, right? By the way, they don't have much chemistry on screen. Let's just be honest. They don't, right? But they forced them together. Now they've put Rusev and Summer Rae together. Now, the explanation about the reason why they paired up together is actually non-existent. They haven't explained. All we've seen so far is her pick up one of his crutches and then look at him a little bit like, I fancy some Bulgarian dick, right? That's all we've had. Why did she gravitate towards Rusev? Why did Rusev, I know he's heartbroken, wants a rebound, but still, why did he feel like Summer Rae...
I hate America! Ooh, pretty American blonde woman!
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's...
Why?
They've done no character development with it. So, the way that it seems to me, if any woman picks up my cane when I drop it, they fall in love with me. Okay?
Yeah.
I better be careful if I drop this next to anyone that isn't my wife, because, geez, that could be a lot of problems right there. Or maybe I should just kind of, wow, I fell over when Angelina Jolie or someone's like, can you help me with my cane? I'm a poor man who has to walk with a cane. And suddenly she's just fucking in love with me, man. I can't get rid of fucking Angelina Jolie. You know? Doesn't that seem like, that's the only thing I can put, wow, there's some chemical attraction between, well, at least fucking show us the reason why they're together. It's really bad character development on both sides. So, Ziggler and Lana come out, right, and they kiss in front of Rusev, right, as an obvious fuck you to them. And here, right, is that the way that it comes off, you didn't see this, man, but you saw the Rusev Ziggler demographic, how it's kind of, well, not demographic, but the what they're kind of going for here. To me, it seems like Ziggler's being a bit of a dick, and Rusev's genuinely heartbroken. And I feel like I want to root for Rusev. And I'm saying this, yeah, he was a man who did honestly say, you're just a woman, you mean nothing, right? He said that when he broke up with Lana, if you remember. But the way things have gone on since then, I find myself wanting Rusev to kick Ziggler's ass. Where did this go wrong? You know? Like, I actually genuinely feel like Ziggler's being an absolute penis. You know, the way that he's written here, he comes off like he's an utter cock. He's like, yeah, I took your girlfriend, so I'm just going to kiss in front of her. Kiss her in front of you.
Hey, this your woman? No, oh well.
He comes off like an utter cock. He really does. So I find myself really conflicted here, because I know Rusev's the heel. I remember some of the stuff he said in the past, and obviously he was very heelish. But I find myself wanting Rusev to kick the shit out of Ziggler. I really do. It's really odd.
Is this the episode where he does, or was that on SmackDown?
He does kick the shit out of him. So Rusev attacks him with his crutch, then kicks him in the face, showing that his injury is fully healed. He doesn't need the boot or the crutches anymore. He did return to action on SmackDown as well, so he's actually back wrestling now.
With boots.
With boots, yeah, which, you know, fair enough, if he's got an ankle problem. I wouldn't have done him with boots. I think it was more of a WWE call than a Rusev call, but...
Do you know what the thing I love is the fact that I found out they're writing it into the story that Summer Rae bought them for him.
That's their character. Matt,
that's where I'm certain I read that somewhere.
That's the character development, though, right? That's what they think is character. Oh wow, they bought them boots while they're so close. No, you haven't fucking explained what they like about each other. You must
love him. Yeah. She bought him some boots.
It's so fucking asinine, right? That they don't know how to write it. They don't know how to write. Like, all they had to do was possibly, you know, that scene, right? Let me redo it for you, right? So Rusev is there. He's fucking thrown his cane, his crutch, and he feels he's in the bottom dump. He realizes that he just messed up with the woman of his dreams, and there she is kissing, you know, this other guy in front of him, and he's just freaking out. He's injured. He's lost his title. He's lost everything. And you run a similar storyline that hasn't got anything to do with that with Summer Rae having exactly the same problems. She loses all of her matches. All of the people are against her. People want her fired from the company, and you run vignettes involving them, and then you have a scene where literally one sits next to the other one, and they get talking. And they're like, man, don't we feel like the universe is fucking against us here, right? We either, like, man, like, you know, what you can even want them to say, man, you don't even understand what I'm going through. And actually, I do understand what you're going through, funny enough. I'm going through the same thing. I know it's a very face thing, but you could have them come out, team up. They could still be heel, but that's the reason for them sticking to each other. That could be the thing that fires them off. But at the moment, it seems to me that the only reason I can think that Summer Rae wants to go Rusev is, I fancy Bulgarian dick. That's the only thing I can think of. You know?
That's it. I wonder if it's as broad as you are.
It's like, I literally just given you, I just thought of it there, then, done. That's a reason why the two of them could pair up with each other. And maybe if you want to make a romance between them, then you can build it up through further, you know, backstage bits on them, you know, if that's how you want to build it, even though romance by nature is a very face storyline, right? Because everyone wants to see two people get together and be happy. That's a face thing. But, there you go, I literally just off the top of my head, that wasn't even on my notes. That's how you do it. That's how you make the relationship between them, right? So we've got to stick together because, man, no one else is sticking around for us, you know? And then later on, they can, you know, fucking go from there. So, yeah, basically, Rusev going on with the rest of this. Rusev crushes Ziggler's throat. He uses the crutch and then basically slams it. You know how they used to do it with the chairs. And then Summer Rae then chucks Lana out the ring as well. I'm at least a little bit interested in a mixed tag match. I will agree. I will admit that. But it doesn't have the fuel for a 3-month program. If that's what they want from it, this can't go 3 months. Or 4 months as they want to go with Rusev. It just doesn't have the legs for it. So it might do if they had actually made up the relationships between the characters better. Honestly, man, go and watch this segment. You honestly... I
don't want to.
Yeah, but you will root for Rusev. You will want Rusev to kick Ziggler's ass. It's strange. It's like they've managed.
I shouldn't like him. He's a heel.
Yeah. Oh man, it's. I mean, maybe it's because the writers have never been dumped from a girl before. They don't know how it feels when they've never had a breakup before.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe that's along the lines. Or, you know, I'm not saying that particularly. Maybe they met the girl of their dreams and married them straight away. I don't know. But they've never had a bad relationship or something along those lines. I don't know. Bo Dallas versus Dean Ambrose. Bo takes the mic before the match and says, bad things happen to bad people. He's referencing Ziggler earlier on. And I would agree with him because Ziggler, just like I said, he's acting like a bit of a dick. And good things happen to good people like himself. But of course we must believe. Matt, I will ask you again. Do you believe?
I still do not believe.
You don't believe? Okay.
I am not a believer.
I'm fairly, people can hear the shock in my voice over that. But with Dean Ambrose around, I think the one thing Matt can believe in is that there's a squash about to happen. And
yay!
Yeah, that's along the lines of where it's going. Quick match, Dirty Deeds, done. That's it. Dean Ambrose. Apparently they replayed this match on SmackDown because it's SmackDown. That's essentially the reason why.
Because reasons.
For good reasons. Commentary, literally everything now is because of reasons. That's how WWE do all of their. If someone literally says to them, "Oh, but this doesn't make any sense," oh, reasons. That's exactly the reason why.
Because reasons say it should.
Yeah. Commentary there showing more footage of J&J security driving around. It's funny that their car was involved in the most segments of the show, but that car won't be showing up. I
can only just imagine like J&J just going around like Fear and Loathing style.
Which is like, they put like fucking racing stripes all over the car.
I saw that they'd put like camo down the side of it or something. I was like, the hell?
They made like a very sexy car look very fucking stupid. I will give them props for that. So, Matt, have you been excited for the King Barrett versus King R. Trizzle match?
Oh, mate, like, I've been waiting so long for it.
Wow!
Like, my life is incomplete without this match.
I tell you what, you haven't been able to sleep without knowing that this match happened, have you?
It's been just crazy.
You've struggled, I will say.
Yeah.
The match that absolutely nobody asked for with 2 stars that I used to love, but now I hate. And unfortunately...
You used to love... Really?
I used to love R-Truth. I really did. When he was doing the little Jimmy stuff, I found that quite entertaining. And I used to love Barrett. Now I don't like either of them. I hate to see them.
Do you remember the worst part is the fact that... Do you remember when we were at UK, like, at the UK Raw?
Go on.
And the massive cheer that he got?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd cheer him. If it was like next Monday.
If he came out as a king. No,
yeah.
He would not have got cheered. Well, actually, no, it's fucking England. We probably cheer for anyone as long as they go, England's awesome. We're like, just going back because we're just like so easy of a crowd just to get a response.
For us! Yeah!
John Cena just said, I won a WrestleMania in England. We know we're not going to get it, but we still fucking popped like mad. You know, we're like
idiots.
Fucking hell, I felt like a Viking. You know,
yeah, we still popped like idiots.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
Well, we had fun at a wrestling show. No one can blame us for that. But you know what's really a shame though? This match isn't actually half bad. It's actually pretty good. It's a shame that the storyline around it is so fucking just
stupid.
Stupid, yeah. Barrett picks up the win with the ball hammer as Truth comes off the top rope. That actually looked pretty fucking dirty. Dirty meaning good in this sense. It looked like he proper clocked the guy, and Truth sold it really well. With a far less goofy background, this could have been a very highly competitive encounter, but unfortunately,
they made it a joke.
Seth Rollins is out with his J&J compatriots. They also come in the car, which any fan will tell you is just asking for it to be wrecked. You go to park that thing close to where Brock Lesnar's out. It's like you putting your beer close to where Steve Austin's hand is. It's going to get drunk, okay? That beer will not be there for very long.
It's going to get drunk or it's going to get smashed.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going. The fact is, it will not be in its state when you take it away in a couple of seconds, right? Rollins says that he's the man, the undisputed future of WWE, which I hate him saying because if you're the champion, you are the man of WWE, not the future. You are it. Yeah. I still think of that. And he says he proved it when he beat the hell out of Brock Lesnar 2 weeks ago. He'll burn Suplex City to the ground, a line of which he said about 4 times in about 2 weeks. He finished... Yeah. He loves it, apparently. All the way.
He's going to be like the Godzilla of Suplex City.
Yeah. But that would be quite cool, actually. Poster actually doing it there.
What you mean? Unlike the poster that showed Brock Lesnar as
as
Godzilla in Tokyo, for Beast in the East,
with the New Day running away, like
especially considering that, like for Tokyo, it's like that racist. I know, Godzilla.
I think that
Brock Lesnar.
I think anyone taking that too racist is a little bit too politically correct for my liking.
Yeah.
So then he finishes by saying he wonders if Brock is the beast everyone says he is, or if he's Paul Heyman's bitch. Now, you poke a bear in the eye.
Cue the crowd. Oh.
Yeah. You poke a bear in the eye, Matt, and what happens?
It comes back and bites you.
Exactly. You tend to get a little bit pissed off. Talking of large carnivorous beasts, Brock Lesnar shows up. Before he takes to the ring, he looks like he's going to back away because they've all got weapons in the ring. They've got like these wooden like bars, right?
Sticks.
They
look like sticks.
Yeah, they look pretty much And he goes back, he takes a liking to that car that they drove in. Then Paul Heyman then says, you know what? As if you weren't dangerous before, being Brock Lesnar, I'm going to give you 2 axes.
Yeah,
there is the makings.
Have an axe.
Yeah, there is the makings.
Oh, okay.
The makings of a horror trilogy right there. Brock Lesnar with 2 axes. You've got a slasher fic right there. WWE Studios needs to get on that actually and make Brock Lesnar with 2 axes just be him killing people for an hour and a half. That would be enjoyable. Better than See No Evil. Would you? Yeah, it would have to be surely. But you're a fan of that movie, anyway.
I quite like See No Evil.
Well, come on, Lesnar with 2 axes. Come on, it's Lesnar with 2 axes.
Yeah, to be fair, it would be scary. I did enjoy See No Evil.
So he then decides, you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to break the fuck out of your car. So he literally throws the fucking axe into the side of the car, gets it stuck, breaks the windows, breaks the door. He's literally just destroying everything regarding it. JJ Security have seen enough. They want to stop this man from doing this, but they forgot it's Brock Lesnar and you're JJ Security.
And he has axes.
Well, no, at this point he didn't, because he's basically thrown them and destroyed them along with the car. But they go in, they're like, well, we're going to stop you. Jamie Noble realises, oh shit, I'm Jamie Noble, and this is Brock Lesnar.
Hang on, I just realised that my ribs are still broken.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
So, he gets put in the Kimura lock. Brock Lesnar, kayfabe of course, breaks his arm. So Noble's there with broken ribs and a broken arm, as we're led to believe. And then I actually would have taken that over having what Mercury had done to him. He got a body-to-body suplex over the head onto the bonnet of the car, and his back just slammed straight into the fucking window, cracking that as well. And then Rollins has the look of it of, oh shit, that didn't turn out how I liked it, as Brock Lesnar runs to the ring, jumps over the top rope, and there isn't much scarier than Brock Lesnar running full pelt, jumping over the top rope. Rollins is like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm out of here. I am gone. And he fucking runs, pelts it across, literally runs out of the building. That's what commentary state. He's gone. No more Rollins. He's gone. Lesnar poses with the WWE Championship. This was a fun segment. It was the most entertaining segment we've had in at least a month. Easy. Having Brock Lesnar take out his frustration on a Cadillac. Yeah, you know what? That was good. I enjoyed that. If you want to scar any child, however, I can tell you how to do it right now. I didn't do this before anyone says. You put a child in front of your TV, you make them watch Disney's Cars and Disney's Cars 2, and then you make them watch this segment where Brock Lesnar destroys a car. There you go.
You heartless bastard.
There you go. You've got a kid psychologically damaged for the rest of their life. So there you go. Easy. No, I didn't do it. I haven't done it. Jeez.
No, I know, but that just sounds like a terrible thing.
Of course it's a terrible thing.
You like cars? Okay. Enjoy.
Oh, you like cars? Every car's alive. Do you believe that? Do you believe in the magic? Watch what Brock Lesnar's doing to this car. Watch what he's doing. Holding that.
It must be screaming in pain.
Oh no, he's killing it. You can, do you want to save it? You can't. It's Brock Lesnar. Yeah, it's just kind of maybe that is a little bit wrong, but still. Moving on, Lucha Dragons versus the New Day. Talking of things that obviously have been destroyed by Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston, you would think, Matt, would probably sell the damage he took by the Beast over in Japan.
I would guess he doesn't.
No, he doesn't at all. Wow, very good at his prediction thing. Jesus. Well,
it's funny the way you started it off. It's like you'd have imagined. Oh, did he not? No,
he didn't. He was dancing. He was completely fine. 100% okay.
Oh, okay.
Primetime Players is on commentary.
Especially considering that was only like 2 days prior.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, he's fine. He's okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Titus O'Neil on commentary is absolutely fucking annihilating. I mean, annihilating JBL. To the point that JBL just didn't have anything he could say. He was scolding the commentary because they wanted to talk about Brock Lesnar, what he did before. And Titus O'Neil did the one thing that I fucking loved. As soon as this came out of his mouth, I loved him. He was like, you've got a tag team match in the ring. Talk about the tag team match. I was like, fan-fucking-tastic. Well done, Titus O'Neil, for saying that. And he kept saying it every time that they tried to take attention away from the match in the ring. He was like, you've got a match in the ring about our tag team division. You talk about this match. I was like, yes, Titus, yes, yes. It was almost as if like my feelings regarding that possessed Titus O'Neil and just kind of spoke for him in that moment. But he literally proved in a matter of minutes that he could outtalk. This is Titus. Darren Young is okay. Titus O'Neil proved in a matter of minutes in this match he could outtalk anyone in that commentary booth, easy and quick. He had JBL on the fucking ropes. He was punch drunk verbally. It was fantastic. It was great to see that JBL had absolutely no reply for anything that Titus O'Neil could say. And anything that he did reply with eventually was far too late, and it was so hokey. It's the sort of stuff that you'd imagine JBL to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fucking hell, Titus decimated JBL. In fact, he decimated that entire commentary team because they kept trying to not talk about the tag team division when you've got the tag team champs next to you and a tag team match in the ring. Titus was like, nope, you're not doing that. You're talking about our tag team division. I fucking loved it.
Was it just Titus?
Titus was the one definitely pushing it. I mean, Darren Young was out there, but once Titus was talking, yeah, it was Titus all the way.
Yeah.
So New Day win this match. It was a decent match, but Titus just stole the show. That's how you make an impact on commentary. That was brilliant. I loved it. This year's teaser for the new WWE 2K video game is out. It shows a figure like digging something out of a desert. It's soon revealed because you can notice him by his bald head. It is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he digs out his smoking skull belt, puts it on his shoulder, looks at the camera, and it comes up WWE 2K16. So not nearly as cool as the Sting one, but still, I thought it was okay. You tweeted about it as well, didn't you, Matt?
I did. I was happy with it.
Yeah,
it was simple, and I liked it.
I'm definitely not saying it's bad. It wasn't as good as the Sting one, but it was right.
I agree.
I thought it was okay. However, one thing I will say is that he's also the cover art. He's the cover guy, right? So last year, while Sting was the reveal trailer, it was Cena who was the cover guy. Remember, he was the guy on all the video game covers. But Austin is actually the cover of this year's video game. So that means you have. And by me, I don't blame Austin for this because he's only taking what WWE give to him. I've got no issue with him taking it, but it's very weird having a guy on the cover who hasn't wrestled in over a decade. And the last time he was on WWE television was WrestleMania 30. Do you not think...
Was it then?
Yeah, that's the last time he's been on WWE television. Before then, it was much longer, right? So, does that not seem then... Like, I love Austin, and obviously he's got a huge part in WWE legacy and history. And I'm not one of these guys that's like, oh, these old guys shouldn't be taking slots. But doesn't it just seem a little bit weird that you've got a guy who's barely involved in WWE television at all? He's on the cover?
Yeah, he's Austin, motherfucker.
Yeah, I think it's more of a thing of, well, who else are you going to put on there? I'd put Brock Lesnar on there, personally. But, yeah, that's just...
Well, especially, like, have you seen there's meant to be, like, 160 character models for this new game?
Yeah, how are we going to get literally every single version of John Cena? I guess.
But apparently we're not... They specifically said that that's not going to be the case. They actually set out saying there's, like... And it's not going to be, every T-shirt. It's legit character models.
I will believe it when I see it. If it is, then wow, that's great. But man, I can see it being like 15 different versions of John Cena. I can honestly see it being that way. And you've got like, oh, it's Steve Austin in black trunks, or Steve Austin with the different, jeans on because he's going for a barber.
It's Steve Austin in black Stone Cold trunks, or he's in green as the ring general.
Yeah, the ringmaster. Yeah,
the ringmaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna have stunning Steve Austin.
Stunning Steve Austin. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I just think I'm finding it a bit weird. I do. Yeah, I honestly thought Lesnar would have been the easiest choice. He's on there now for 3 years. On there, make Lesnar the cover. Their best video game that WWE have ever done is Here Comes the Pain. Guess who's on the cover of that?
Yeah.
Right. John Cena versus Cesaro in the main event. Well, it doesn't start off that way. Cena comes out, says there's quite a negative response to him tonight. Maybe it's because Kevin Owens lost the NXT title. No, John, they don't like you. It's that simple. That's just it. So,
that's not why we're angry.
Yeah,
Go
yeah, they literally.
We're Chicago. You're John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not supposed to like you. Do you remember 2011 Money in the Bank? Yeah, when we booed the shit out of you. Yeah. Owens comes
I wouldn't
out.
say so much that we booed at you, more than the point of we destroyed you.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. I still love watching that back. There hasn't been a crowd response like that since.
No.
That was awesome. So Owens comes out and the announcers get excited thinking, wow, he's accepting the challenge. And I'm like, did you not watch last week? Did you not watch it? Come on. You know this isn't happening. Owens says the worst part of Raw is when Cena comes out and he speaks total crap. Well, he has got a good promo on him, but, you know, more often than not, he does speak a bit of crap. I would give him that. He wants the title shot now, but funny enough, someone else has a different view on that. Cesaro. He comes out and says, well, I should be fighting for the championship, and he does have a legitimate gripe.
Yeah, because we all know what happened last week, and guess what? I reckon I could have won.
Yeah, exactly. So he feels like he's got a thing. He's got a legitimate, religion.
He's got beef.
He's got beef, yeah, fair enough. And he says, he tells Owens, get the hell out of my ring, or I'm going to have a problem. And Owens is like, okay, I'm going to leave. And he does. I wasn't as a problem with that because of what happened at the end of the show, but well, actually, no. To be honest, at the end of the show, it didn't really turn out that well. It was kind of a shit week for Owens, but we'll get into that. So it begins. Cesaro versus John Cena in what was the best Raw match we've had this year. It was
agreed.
A Match of the Year candidate. And it will be fighting for Match of the Year with a bunch of other matches this year. This match should show to people that, well, not to people because people already know, but to the management in the back, that these two should not be having these matches on Raw.
Yeah.
They should not be having them on pay-per-view. They should be having them at the big pay-per-views for championship gold.
That's it. That's like literally because we hadn't even spoken about it beforehand, but I was like, I would not feel ripped off if I paid money to have seen that match.
Yes, I would have paid good money to see that match. Man, if you put a good storyline behind that, as Cena as the champion, Cesaro as the rising face star, well, wow, you've got the Bryan versus Cena dynamic again. You know?
Yeah.
Man, a lot of people enjoyed that, didn't they? Honestly, this match should have been for the WWE World Championship at a pay-per-view. This match was too good to be on Raw. I honestly believe it was too good to be on this show. It shouldn't have been on this show. It should have been at a pay-per-view. Cesaro clearly is trying to make a statement, and if he hasn't got that over at this point now, he never will. And at least
over. You say over?
No, at least
he
got over.
Was over.
He was, yeah.
Like the fucking crowd loved him, and there's no reason now why anyone should have a shadow of a doubt as to go, I don't know why people don't like him. Fuck off. But he can put on matches like this, and that was amazing.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? It's never been the fans. It's never wanted to get on Cesaro's bandwagon. A year and a half ago, we were ready for Cesaro to be getting the fucking firework put up his butt and fucking shot to the moon. But it's the management. For some reason, Vince McMahon, he's not getting over with the crowd. Well, it fucking seemed like he does. Yeah. In this match, he definitely got over the crowd. I tell you what, him being Swiss had nothing to do with us not being able to get into it, because guess what? We got into it. So, him being Swiss and all, guess what? Doesn't matter. The fans want to see Cesaro in these sort of high quality matches.
Yeah.
Right? And there are a few problems with this match, and I'll go into it in a little bit, but going into more about why Cesaro should feel... If I was Cesaro, right? If I don't get any sort of... I mean, because your tag team partner's gone for a year, so he's going to be a single star for very least a year, right? If after these two matches, if he goes back and they say to him, good effort, kid, but you know what, we're not going to use you next week, then you should know right then and there, you're not getting anywhere, mate. Like, you've done everything you can. Now, at least the word is backstage that they are impressed. They did like what they saw. So at very least, hopefully, he gets something, right? Because he deserves it, honestly. And as I said, like, this match is just too good to be on the show. It really was. Now, Matt, there is a few things I dislike, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it as well. I didn't like Cena kicking out of that much offense. It was almost as much as Cesaro landing all of his signature moves and his finisher move and still unable to beat Cena. It got to a point that I was like, what's the point in continuing the match? Obviously, anything that Cesaro does will not win the match. It did get to that point with me a little bit. I was like, come on, like, stop. Stop. This should beat you, to be honest. You shouldn't be kicking out of this. There's a point. Yeah, I get it. High octane matches. You're kicking out of big moves. I get it. And honestly, Cena's been doing it for weeks and months now. But there came a point in this match where I was like, that's just too much offense. That's too much damage you've received. You should not be kicking out. Yeah. And there was a point here that I was just like, just let Cesaro win. He actually beat Cena. And suddenly you've got a triple threat match between Owens, Cena, and Cesaro, right? At the pay-per-view. I don't think anyone would have a problem with that, right?
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be good, right? And then if, let's say you desperately want Kevin Owens, and it kind of makes sense. Cesaro gets the win, he gets a moment he'll always remember, and the crowd will pop massive because it's a huge match, and he wins the US title, he beats John Cena clean, right? But you want to keep Cena safe going forward, you don't want him to get pinned twice, you know? So if you want Kevin Owens desperately wants to win the US title, then he pins Cesaro for it. Cesaro, he doesn't lose that much momentum as long as you keep him going after that. He had his big title win, triple threat rules, anything can happen to it. It kind of makes too much sense. So, but they didn't go with that. But yeah, I just didn't like it. And the other thing I didn't like as well, Cena's springboard stunner. It's shit.
That thing.
It looks awful every time he does it, and it's like progressively gets worse the more he uses it as well. Because that's the setup move before he wins the match as well, because he hits that and then hits the AA. Or he hits the AA off the second rope.
And oh, what a shock, it's done now.
Yeah, it's that move needs to stop right away, because no person has been able to bump it correctly. No person's been able to land it. One, because it's
he hasn't even been able to fucking hit it.
Yeah, like John Cena half the time barely even makes them, and they have to kind of half sell it. And it looks, oh man, it looks. It's one of the ugliest moves in WWE right now. It really is. But those two things aside, yeah, man. What did you think about those two little gripes, though? I mean, more so about the Cena kicking out stuff. How did you think about that?
Yeah, I could agree. I mean, kind of led to believe that he is obviously Super Cena. But then, to be fair, I think Cesaro did his fair bit of kicking out as well.
Yeah, I think the difference was with Cesaro, it was one move, kick out. And then there was kind of, then Cesaro gets some offense in, and then Cena would move, then kick out. With Cesaro, it seemed like bang, bang, bang. He's hitting all of his moves in succession, It seemed a little bit like, you should be gone. You should be far gone at this point. Maybe you look at it a bit more favourably than I do.
Do you know one thing I really loved?
Go on.
The crossfaces.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did like that.
And just the speed that he was able to just lock it in.
And some of the reversals he did, too.
Yeah, it was just amazing.
Yeah. No, he should make that one of his regular moves. If he can do that to that ability, there's no reason why he can't use a crossface.
And with that speed as well.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the only thing that you could say about the crossface, it's Chris Benoit's move, but they've never been
Chris Benoit's move.
Yeah.
But nobody bats a fucking eyelid when Daniel Bryan does it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and other people have done it as well. It's not exactly out the full realm that people have done it. So yeah, no, I don't see it being an issue. After the match, as I said, Cena wins with an AA off the second rope. He doesn't have time to celebrate though. Owens comes in, attacks him. And then, I say attacks him, but literally, you got to remember by this point, right? This is like a 20-25 minute long match. Cena has been decimated. He barely gets out the victory. A fresh Kevin Owens comes to the ring, attacks him. Cena fights him off.
Yeah, just meh.
Just fights him off. Makes nothing. Kevin Owens retreats like he got sucker punched, and oh god, how am I supposed to beat this man? Even though he just went through a grueling match and almost got decimated in the ring. And John Cena's there like, I am the champion. Nothing can beat me. And it's a little bit like, oh, that didn't end right. It should have ended with Owens laying him out. That's how it should have ended. I don't see any reason why John Cena should have fought this off, and it makes no sense. Because he'd been in a fucking grueling match where he got, man, in the amount of times he got suplexed, he got fucking, he got suplexed off the top rope, he got fucking neutralized, he got crossface.
Not the gut wrench suplex, but the deadlift superplex.
Yeah. The amount of moves he had done on him, man. Like, John Cena should be struggling to stand, let alone fighting off a fresh Kevin Owens. So that ending didn't sit right with me, but man, that's just nitpicking. This match was, like I said, it was too good for Raw.
If it just ended and that was Raw, I'd have been happy with it.
What, without Owens' interference?
Yeah.
Yeah, even with that.
I completely understand why Owens got involved. Hey, they're fighting at Battleground. Why not? But
yeah, I mean, what I reckon next week is you're probably gonna have an Owens Cesaro match. That's probably where it's gonna go.
ooh,
Yeah, which will be good. That will be very good. And they should make that the main event easy. But in order to have that, maybe you should have attacked, instead of going after Cena, attack the pair of them. But it just didn't end that the way I liked it.
yeah.
But all in all, this Raw, fucking thumbs up. This was a good Raw. I think you add that fantastic match, that beautiful match that Cena and Cesaro had, and then you put that with the fun that was Brock Lesnar basically just annihilating a car and J&J Security. Yeah, those two segments are, I mean, if you put it next to the Raws we've had, man, it's head and shoulders above them. You know, it's got a lot more to show you. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely catch this week's Raw. It's not skippable in the slightest, and that's good. You know, you will want to catch this Raw.
To be fair, that's what it needs to do, considering what happened last week.
Yeah, how many skippable Raws have we had? Honestly,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of them, but no, this was a great Raw in all respects. It was it was well worth the watch. Obviously, it's got some parts that don't work out very well, but it's got some parts that were very much like, yeah, I'm really into this. So let's hope WWE can keep it going forward. But more than likely, I mean, I know Lesnar's got a lot of dates coming up on Raw, but the minute Lesnar goes, I think this goes back the way it used to be. But
yeah, it's got to pick itself. It's got to try and come up with something half decent to get going.
yeah, that's it.
Like it's almost like they're currently just relying on like Cena Owens. Like I know we've got like Rusev and Ziggler currently running in the background, but it's pretty much, you know, Cena Owens.
Yeah, and then like I said, Lesnar's pretty much picking up the show whenever he's there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say watch this week. It is worth the watch. But obviously we'll keep an eye on things. Like I said, the next Raw without Lesnar, that'll be the one to watch. That'll be the one. Well, it won't be the one.
Isn't
to watch.
the next
That'll be the one to keep an eye
Raw
on.
to go home before Battleground?
I think it is. Yeah, I think Battleground's pretty soon. So, and you know how involved Lesnar is after that. I mean, it's coming up to SummerSlam, so you expect he would be. So
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes from there. So that's the show there, guys. That's Let's Talk Wrestling for the week. Quite a fun episode that we've had this week. If you do want to send us any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below, or you can tweet us at
WrestlePod.
yes, that's all WrestlePod, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're a new listener to the show, you can join our over 320 subscribers. Man, that mounted up pretty quick, didn't it? Jeez.
I did stack.
I think, yeah, come on, guys. We're going to hit 400 by the end of this year. I think it's pretty much a formality now. Doesn't mean we're not going to stop trying. And, you know, of course, we love doing the podcast. We're going to put in everything on it. It's been episode 83. We hope you guys have a great week. Like I said, if you are new, subscribe to the channel. And apart from that, like I said, just give us your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you guys. We hope you have a great week. I hope you enjoyed, if you did watch it, McGregor Mendez. I probably won't be watching it live. I'll probably be watching it afterwards. But still, except for Matt, who won't give a shit who wins either way. So.
I honestly still have no idea what you're on about.
Okay, well, fair enough. It's like I'm speaking a different language.
MMA?
Yeah, sure.
Is it?
Yeah, it's you didn't know it was MMA. Come on.
It's a UFC fight.
It's a UFC. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. It's been great, and we'll catch you next week.
We'll see you around.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.